Guys, this is Bobby Okereke, linebacker with the Indianapolis Colts. Make sure you follow my guys at the Anvil, best sports talk podcast going on with Colts right now. Tune in.
It seems like a Sunday, like anyone before. That's what you think. So you open up the door, you can feel the buzz, you can hear the people singing battle cries. Lucas Oil Stadium's about to come alive. Blue and white jerseys, some old and some new, all gather round South Capitol Avenue. They come for the tailgate, some drive and some fly. Colts fans show up with fire in their eyes, yelling, "Go Host, go Big Blue!" We're in the stands, the tried and true, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, the Colts Nation. We take this very serious, it is not a joke. We're back, all the players, we're back in it, coach. We stream and we root, we raise up our fist to support this team from Indianapolis. Go Host, go Big Blue, we're in the stands cheering for you, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, the Colts Nation, Colts Nation. Screaming, "Go Host, go Big Blue!" We're in the stands, the tried and true, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, yeah, Colts Nation, that Colts Nation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation.
Welcome back to another Anvil. Tonight we only got 3/5 of the crew. So you have myself, Clyde, Big P, and Country down at the bottom. This is the Anvil Show. Welcome. And while I have your attention, please like, subscribe, follow on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. How you doing, fellas?
Doing good, brother. You?
Doing well. I'm trying to figure something out in the background for you. I'm trying to see if I can pull this up. But I'm doing well. About you, Country?
Hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
What? That must be.
Are you still not used to that?
Country reference right there, like a hair in a biscuit. All right.
Hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
You should have been able to hear it.
We don't say that in the city where I'm from. So, but not saying it's bad.
I got some other things about hanging in there, but we're not gonna go there.
That's probably going to be terrible.
Too early in the show. Yes, sir.
Too early in the show. Yeah. So excuse me, I'm on the back page here trying to load something up. But you guys keep the conversation going. You want to let them know what we're talking about tonight, Pat?
Sure. Well, actually, let Country take this one. What is today, Country?
Today is MayFlower Day.
Mayflower Day. Tell us what Mayflower Day is.
MayFlower Day is when the Colts, on this day in 1984, moved from Baltimore to the great city of Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah. Let's give that a clap. Make sure I got the right one. There we go. So 39 years ago today, Robert Ursay packed up in the middle of the night told Baltimore to kick rocks, landed in the Circle City, and our
Ain't
I
it
guess
40
fandom.
years?
It was actually
Well,
40 years.
No, it's 39. This is the year 40. It was in 1984.
Oh.
So this is the
so
40th year if you look at it like the season when it starts, but
Oh,
it
okay,
didn't
like
happen until
2023, 2024. I got you.
yeah. So
Okay.
it'll be 40 years actually next March, but this is the
Mr.
40th season.
Technicality. Jesus.
And well, you asking questions, I'm just trying to give you the answers.
Well, speaking of questions people might have, should we just read a little bit of facts about today for the people in the back?
About Mayflower Day? Go for it.
Sir. All right. Today in Colts history, the first moving truck arrived at the Colts facility around 7 p.m. in Baltimore, then kept coming one at a time as the facility did not have room for all 14 trucks at the same time. The last truck left around 4 a.m. from Baltimore on the 29th. All drivers had instructions to scatter in different directions, travel about 100 miles, and find a place to move the next morning. At 9 a.m. on the 29th of March, the drivers were given their destination, which was Indianapolis. Within 24 hours, all the drivers had reached Fall Creek Elementary, which was served as the Colts temporary training center. The city of Indianapolis had just built an $81 million, 61,300 seat Hoosier Dome and offered to build a $5 million practice field and office compound facility. The Hoosier Dome would feature luxury skyboxes, which were uncommon at this time. Indianapolis also guaranteed an average of 45,000 fans in exchange for a modest 20-year lease with a 5-year option. The city also guaranteed the Colts $7 million in guaranteed revenue, and the rest is history.
Check this out. You want to know something super cool about that?
Let's go.
So just like what you just mentioned with the Hoosier Dome, don't you know our city mayor or whoever decided to fund this project, they did that to lure any team. So it was no guarantee. Because normally, like there's some things, so you could take like what happened with the Raiders here when they moved to Vegas. There was already plans that, Vegas was going to go, all the way out and build them some amazing stadium. And so, okay, boom, we secure that and we got the lease on the place for 20 years or whatever it is. But we didn't have none of that. So I guess Robert Irsay was kind of like, well, shit, there's my opportunity, right? But literally, we built that with no city or with no team already in place. That's pretty incredible. Like that's like rolling the dice, risky. Yeah, because I'm thinking like, let's say it doesn't happen. The Pacers already play in a stadium, and you wouldn't build something that big for basketball. They play in an arena, but so I guess you would just try to lure other things there. NCAA, which it ended up starting coming there, whatever else, but not having a football team when they initially did it is pretty impressive. So
absolutely
extra ballsy.
It was very ballsy.
I listened to Joshua's story.
I said extra ballsy. That's pretty weird. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we're used to your weirdness, sir. Don't worry about it. You're still our talent.
All right. Well,
Joshua says my ex-mother-in-law worked for MayFlower, and when she was about to end her shift, was advised she would be paid triple time as a dispatcher and pull 36-hour shift just to get our boys in blue here. Hell yeah!
And like, it's crazy that you said like the truck drivers didn't even know initially.
No,
like where they were going. That's pretty crazy.
It's literally top secret shit right there.
Facts. Absolutely.
I missed that dome too, Adam.
Another cool fact has nothing to do with the Mayflower move, but another cool fact is in some of the last years of the Hoosier Dome, aka the RCA Dome, I actually got to play my Pee Wee championship football game there in 5th grade.
Oh, that's super cool.
And we got to play on the field. We met Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Tony Dungy, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, Bob Sanders.
How old are you?
I was in 5th grade.
He's only 17. Yeah. You didn't know that?
Oh my God, I'm old.
They were young. All these guys were youngins. They were still making names for themselves.
What?
Hey, Acosta, Teresa says you got a pretty mouth, boy.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I know I do.
Easy there, Patrick. What did you do?
What do you mean?
Where's our background picture? Why is it just pitch black dark?
Oh, well, that's probably because I was messing around with stuff.
You had one job, Pat.
No, what are you doing, man? Pat broke it.
I inject it
Omaha.
all. Here
Hey,
it is.
Omaha. This
There it is.
motherfucker.
Okay, now we got it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Here, talk about our stadium, even though this is not the Hoosier Dome. Like, yeah, matter of fact, where is the picture of the inside of Lucas Oil? And we just looking at dark screen. Here we go. We gonna get there, man. So now that
we'll
we
get
know
there, Joshua.
about MayFlower Day, let's just ring the bell and go right on into it. Okay, again, unless you're living under a rock, things have heated up with Lamar Jackson once again, because Lamar Jackson came out and officially announced that he has requested a trade from the Ravens, which he supposedly did on the 2nd, but it never came, I guess, news to the public until yesterday when he made his official tweet. And NFL league meetings are happening out in Phoenix, and people are about to go on stage. I think we were actually about to go on stage, and the tweet hit, and like the world has been buzzing since. And last I checked, we were like number 1 or number 2 as far as favorites, but that's usually what it is when it comes to, quarterbacks free agency wise or trade wise or whatever. So in this case, as we talked about last week, reasons for Lamar, reasons maybe not for Lamar. But then it was this when it was saying like guaranteed money wasn't a thing and blah, 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 blah. And like Josh just said, he doesn't think that he's coming to Indy. I'm going to say I'm not as sure as I was last week. Last week, I think I was leaning toward, it's not going to happen. But I'm not sure now. I'm really not. So let's go around the horn. We noticed that Chris Ballard called him a special player. And when you have special players that are available, you have to do your, as he said, due diligence or research. And again, being Chris Ballard, he's not going to tell you or show his hand what he's going to do. But I really think this is a conversation now. So people that's listening, plus the two that's on the panel with me, what do we think? And I'm gonna bring something up for you, Pat. I think I finally got it together. Okay. So Country, I'll let you lead because I think Patrick's gonna use some of this for his reference.
Awesome.
I mean, a little bit, but not. I just thought it was interesting.
Okay.
Honestly, just what I think about, when all that came to light earlier today. Honestly, I just think, Chris Ballard, I think he's going to do his due diligence and, trying to get him here. He said, he was quoted saying you have to do the work. He's always quoted saying that, you have to do the work to get someone that's special here, meaning you have to move certain numbers around. I know we just kept Kelly and Ryan Kelly and Kenny Moore. That's some cap space, that wasn't available. That was going to be available to Lamar, or the possibility of Lamar coming here. So, we have that over our head. But you know what? There's still a due diligence that has to be done here. I think the key is patience at this point. The thing that Ballard always preached on the most. Will Lamar come here? I think it's a step in the air. I'm not going to say if it's 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever, have you. But I just think it's up in the air right now. I think they are going to make up a deal. In my opinion, I think they are going to make up a deal, present it to Lamar and saying, here's this. We're going to guarantee this much. Is this what you want? Because, he said he doesn't want guaranteed money, or all guaranteed money.
Fully guaranteed.
Yeah, fully guaranteed money. So, I think they're going to work up a deal, because he is special. Ballard, said that. So, you're going to go after those special guys. So, what I gather from that overall is they're going to put out an offer for Lamar Jackson, present it to him, and whether he comes here or not, who knows? It's going to be up to him and his team eventually. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Patrick?
So basically, you just said you don't know. 5 minutes to say you don't know.
Wow. That's not kicking the man. Okay. You want to defend yourself?
I'm glad we're on screen because that one might have got me a black eye.
Listen here, Baldy Locks.
I'm trying to find the exact tweet. I thought I had it, but that ain't the one you wanted, is it?
No, it's not. You want me to just read it off?
Yeah, just read it off.
Relax, man. Relax. But do your thing.
Just opinionate yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway,
do that.
The question is Lamar coming or not?
Okay, here we go.
Now, take out the price tag of Lamar. Okay, because we all know Jim Irsay can afford it. They can move numbers around. They can do whatever they want. The question comes is he the guy for this team? Yeah, that's the tweet.
There you go.
So I look at that, and in my opinion, I think that's what everybody should do is look at Lamar, look at his style of play, look at his injuries, look at his successes, look at his failures, look at everything, like Country was saying, do their due diligence. And then they're going to ask a question. Is Lamar our guy? And as fabulous as Lamar is, I don't think he is the front office's guy. I don't think he's Jim Irsay's guy, and I don't think he's Chris Ballard's guy. So I'm going to say, in my opinion, he's not coming. Now, would I be upset if he did come? No. I don't want to give up this year's first round and next year's first round for him. But I'll pay him his money.
But let me ask you this. Here's my question to that. How can you have a proven guy? Yes, I know he's missed 11 games the last 2 years, but how can you have a proven guy, recent MVP, and he's elite in what he does, but he's not elite overall as a quarterback? Like, he doesn't pass great. I talked about that, but he's an elite player. He's a top 5 quarterback in the AFC for sure.
Absolutely.
Top 10 quarterback probably in the whole NFL. How do you pass that up for high risk,
an unproven guy?
Yeah.
Basically, it comes down to, can I make this young guy more elite than this guy? Because everybody knows where Lamar's weaknesses are.
But is he not an instant shot in the arm? Like an instant shot in the arm.
Instant shot in the arm. But they want that shot to linger for years.
I mean, he's only 26 years old.
Age has nothing to matter about it. It's the ability to accept the new system that they want to install in you as a player. Is he going to resist it? Is he going to form to it? Is he going to adapt properly to the system?
I say yeah.
A young rookie quarterback has no choice. He has to adapt to the system because he knows nothing else. Lamar knows Lamar.
All right,
Lamar knows Lamar's system.
I was
gonna say this, and this is an opinionated, very opinionated question. Which version of Michael Vick is better? The young, explosive one, not accurate as hell, or the one after serving his time in prison, coming back, working under Andy Reid, and showing that he's a pure, complete quarterback, passer, and he can still run the ball? So which version was better?
The second version, in my opinion.
Second version was better. So what I'm saying is, I think that a younger Lamar, knowing that he's been injured twice now, because he's had to play like he's had to play, which has given him, huge accolades across the league, but he won't have to play like that in Shane Steichen's system at all. I mean, he got Jonathan Taylor behind him. He's never had a running back even a third of what Jonathan Taylor is. And so he was the rushing attack. You know what I mean? In Baltimore, we know led in some of those years, Baltimore was like 1, 2, maybe 5 at the worst. And when it comes to top running teams in the league, with him carrying 80, 90% of that burden. Bro, if we could just reduce him to 500 yards, that's still a dangerous Lamar. You know what I'm saying? We don't need him to get 1,000.
Like I said, I'm not going to be upset if he comes here. And you're 100% right, Clyde. It is an immediate shot in the arm for this franchise and this fan base. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, the guy's electric. There's no doubt about it.
So
but the question we have to answer, and you really have to pull back layers to even halfway come close to an answer, because nobody knows what Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay is going to do.
Well, of course not. I'm just saying this is just speculative.
Pull the layers back, and these are some of the questions that I ask myself, and I can't get an answer to them because I don't know Lamar. I don't have no flies on the wall. I can't tell you about his learning curve. I can't tell you about his work ethic. I can't tell you about a lot of things. I just, honestly, man, I just don't know. I
So
I just
here's
don't see it. Not with what we have coming down the pipe with a younger QB that is guaranteed to conform to your system and your style, a young quarterback that isn't going to cost nearly as much. Take that money and you build around him. You see what I'm saying? To me, these are factors that really stack up against Lamar, not against him personally or as a player, but as a franchise in whole. These are the things that are stacking up against him, and that's why I say I don't think he's going to make it to Indy.
but
Okay.
here's my thing though. What is the X factor Lamar did not have in Baltimore? I think that X factor is Shane Steichen. Look at the quarterbacks he's built, helped build over time. Jalen Hurts, was the average quarterback after Carson Wentz left. He brought in or helped bring in Herbert, and he helped build him up, and then he became, a show out overall. Maybe Shane is talking to Jim and Chris like this. It's just opinion of maybe he sees untapped potential in Lamar with the talent that is here in Indy. Maybe he sees something, that he believes. Because honestly, I don't think, because Shane is used to working with a little bit of more mobile quarterbacks than, most coaches that we've had. So maybe he sees something in Lamar that can change this offensive scheme even further in evolutionary, schemes as far as Shane Steichen's already, elite schemes that he has. We see that in Philly last year. So what I'm saying is the X factor being Shane Steichen is he's sticking up for Lamar behind the scenes. Maybe he's saying, if you can make up a deal that you think is good enough to get Lamar here, I promise you that I can make him an elite quarterback up there with the Mahomeses, with, the Josh Allens. We can have like you said last week, Clyde, if we get Lamar, we're automatically a playoff team.
Immediately, like no question.
Immediately.
Perennial.
So so that's what I'm saying. So like, is there is that Shane Steichen the X factorness on why even Lamar's even talked about even coming to Indy?
Yeah. Two things I want to address. I don't think we can keep talking about our guy because we're 0 for 6, and that's not including luck. So that's, to me, that's got to go out the window. Secondly, I would say, like Josh has been saying a lot, like we can't keep Taylor and Lamar. Why not? I would say this: go back to when Carolina drafted CMC, knowing how electric he was, and look what him and Cam Newton did on the ground and through the air. So why not? So what I'm getting at is Lamar Jackson, like someone also said it's time to rebuild. And then you said, Pat, like, with all this money saved on a young guy, you build around him. Like, I'm not even going to be funny. Sure, we can improve our wide receiver core. But as we've seen right now, unless it's Odell Beckham, right now, there's really no guy in free agency that gives us an immediate improvement there. So you're going to have to draft that. But I will say this. If you bring in Lamar Jackson, with what we already have on both sides of the ball, what's left to build? If anything, you're tweaking things. Maybe I want to shore up the offensive line. Sure. Bring in a guy here or there to compete. Maybe I want to add another piece as a cornerback or something. Sure. Got to shore up the edge. But we're not building anything. Right now, we're building because we have no quarterback. So we have no foundation right now. So we might have a house, but right now that house is a trailer because it can be moved. And we've been moving it for 6 straight years. Like, we'll let this guy be the foundation. Nope. We'll let this guy be the foundation. Nope. So it's time to get that foundational piece. And what I'm saying is, and I mean this, like I said, I don't think that nobody truly separated themselves in this draft for us. It's sitting at 4. There was a lot of things we could have done to move up, but we chose not to, which showed me that despite what was going on, I think they would have been happy with either guy. But I know there is a favorite. There's got to be. But there's no clear-cut Trevor Lawrence. There's no clear-cut Andrew Luck, that type of thing. But I think they would have been okay based on our scenario and situation with any guy, 1 through 5. I'm adding Hendon Hooker in there. But I think once you now input Lamar Jackson, somebody's in the building saying, I know these guys are younger than him with the exception of Hooker, but nobody's better than him. Nobody's proven anything yet. And nobody is going to probably come in with the team that we have today and make as big of impact as Lamar Jackson. will. So why not think about him and go? I'm sure somebody has kicked that around the room. And that's where I'm coming from tonight. Again, I think there's limits to his game. But I think that he's never had what we've had, what we'll give him here. And that can change a lot in a player. Like I said, I think about Mike Vick round 2 in the Eagles. Mike Vick round 2 in the Eagles. If that guy was playing like that back when he was, rookie of the year and all that, Atlanta probably would have won the Super Bowl.
And I'll definitely give you that, because when he went with the Eagles, he had Andy Reid.
Yes. He had an offensive-minded guy. And I'm not saying he didn't have that. I mean, back then, I think his coach was Dan Reeves when they drafted him, but I don't know who was the OC. But playing under Andy Reid was way different. And we always knew Mike Vick could actually throw the ball. But throwing the ball and being able to read the field and get through your progressions, that's something he did not show well in Atlanta. And that's probably something that people will say, well, Lamar Jackson hasn't shown that either. But again, he's always been designed first to play football. So make a play with your legs or your arm. He's going to be here like, hey, we have a system that's going to allow you to use your talents in ways during the game that will benefit your legs, in ways during the game that will benefit your arm. And that's what we're going to teach you here. And, oh, by the way, you got an all-pro running back behind you who's ready to fucking go. So thinking Lamar Jackson and Jonathan Taylor can't be together is crazy.
Yeah.
And,
Now, Adam's comment here, does that have any bearing on your decision? 2 knee injuries, an ankle injury, a back injury, and a head injury since 2020.
It's worrisome.
I won't even say it is. I hate to say it, bro, but like everybody, because in one conversation, people are going to say, hey, the game has changed and all of these running quarterbacks are this, that, and the other. But yet when you get them, now look at the bottom line. Knee injuries, ankle injury, back injury, head. So you can't have both. You know what I'm saying? And then if you have just the stick figure guy who can throw the ball really well, the old quarterbacks, the Tom Brady's, that era is done. Joe Burrow probably still in there. He runs around a little bit, but look what happened to him. Tore his knee up.
That
and came right back and went to a Super Bowl. But all I'm simply stating is an injury. When we're playing football, an injury is an injury. And I hate that we have to like break that down so much, bro. But there's nothing proven. And this is not to take a terrible shot at it, but I mean, just look what happened to DeMar last year. Like, it's like shit like that. Yes, that was probably, hopefully, once in a lifetime experience. But what I'm getting at is you never know what type of football injury is going to happen. So when you're playing football, you have to play football. And if that's the style that he plays, sure, we want him to be smarter. I don't want him taking on 265-pound linebackers head on. That ain't what he does anyway. But yes, he might get concussed. Yes, he might have an ankle injury. Yes, this might happen. But shit, what are we going to do with Anthony Richardson? Remember, we had a big, strong guy like that before too. We had a huge guy like Andrew Luck was Anthony Richardson. Now, much faster, yes, Anthony Richardson is. But I'm saying build-wise. 6'4", 245, whatever he was coming out of Stanford. And that boy got broken down. Sure, our offensive line was trash, but a lot of his injuries happened on the lacerated kidney. That was a scramble. That wasn't a sack. That was a scramble. Facts. So wonder if that happens and we start seeing Anthony Richards getting beat up. Now we're going to say, well, now we want him to sit back in the pocket and play quarterback. But that's not even his game now. That's what I'm saying, man. As fans, we just want somebody, I know. But there is an argument for every guy. There's literally an argument for every guy. So would I be happy with Anthony Richardson at this point? Absolutely. Why? Because he's shown what he can do talent-wise. Is there a lot of room to grow in his years of frustration? Probably, even with Shane Steichen. But Lamar Jackson, I think instantly, we are a playoff team. Anthony Richardson, probably not. Just my thoughts.
I mean, I think it's where people get confused, like when they're saying rebuild. It's just like, I just want to address that real quick. We're not the roster is not in a rebuild phase. The one thing that was in a rebuild phase was the coaching staff.
Oh, you want it down now?
Okay. Yeah, we're good with that.
The coaching staff was definitely in a rebuild phase with Frank Reich's departure and all these other coaches' departure. This coaching staff was the rebuild phase everybody wants to see and talk about. The roster was fine. As far as talent goes, as far as the big names go, it was fine last year. We're not in a rebuild. Absolutely not. Like you said, there's tweaking to be had here. And a lot of that tweaking has been from poor coaching in the past. So we get some fresh meat in here, get some fresh new ideas, some fresh drills, new mindset, new year. Like Ballard said, I know I say this probably every week. Same logo, same or different regime. It's things are going to change. It's not a rebuild for the change. We are not in a rebuild. The coaching staff is a rebuild, not the roster.
Okay, Carve says, we get Larmar. What does that do with weapons? But I'm saying when. And that's another thing, too. Like, he is the weapon. So
no, he means to attract weapons like OBJ, to where OBJ
not
would
even what we
want to come here.
But do we want that? Do we want another, let's call it another Los Angeles Rams scenario? I don't want one guy to open the floodgates to a bunch of, hey, I'm here to win a, championship guys. You still have to have a core team, right? Yep. Or you go through what the Rams are going through where they have no draft picks, they have no money.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't get off that easy, sir.
No.
They got your use all about it.
Wait,
time out. Do what you got. I just want one.
Whoa.
I just want one. And now look at you.
No. See, because you're jumping to conclusions. It did serve them their purpose. They got what they wanted out of it. But this is my issue with this. What I'm saying is I don't think that one guy drove that. Like who you're pointing to the one guy that brought everybody to the Rams. I just think that was them being like just starving for whoever was out there as a top name. That's who they were signing.
I agree.
That's my issue with that. Like it didn't matter who was getting released or who was available, or the first time you'd be like, oh, such and such is potentially trade worthy. Boom, that's the Rams are first people on the phone.
Yeah. They didn't re-sign OBJ. They didn't re-sign Wagner. They cut half their receiving core.
Yeah.
They were talking about trading Matthew Stafford at one point.
Yeah.
But see, that was my whole thing about doing everything you can to get that one, because now that franchise is in a dumpster fire and is going to be in a dumpster fire for quite a few years.
Well, that's because
it's two parts of the story, but I felt you. Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying, like, that shows, like we said a big topic we had on the show last year. Does the going past the cap and spending money really make you a dynasty like we thought it was going to be with all that talent they had on their roster? And this year proved it. It does not.
But I'll say this too, because I mentioned this. I said that even still in building all this talent, it still has the mesh. And even though they won that Super Bowl, who's to say that it truly meshed? I mean, because literally they were just bringing dudes in like mid-season. They were bringing guys in like, okay, this person got hurt, but we're going to throw them back into the lineup. Like they were just doing whatever. And again, they won a Super Bowl by literally the hair on, probably Thomas got a big beard, but somebody who doesn't have a beard, they won by that much, because if they don't sack Joe Burrow, that's a touchdown. That's a chase touchdown. He beat Jalen Ramsey bad. He was wide open. Burrow just didn't have a chance to plant his feet and throw it.
He would have walked in.
He would have walked in. So with all of that talent, they still, and again, a win's a win, but they could have lost that game. So what I'm saying here, going back to Carvey's thing, I don't want Lamar Jackson to come here and then all of a sudden all these other value. Well, we have great draft picks. We have great talent. We already have it. I'm sure over the years you're going to have to improve, but we don't have to say, okay, now we got Lamar, so who else wants to come here? Because I think that's going to blow up our chemistry. We don't need to do that. But he will always be a talk in somebody's future plans. I will say that. Especially if he comes here and he wins right away. Oh, yeah.
Especially between player and their agent.
Yeah, especially
the player knows they're not getting re-signed or they're not happy there. And he talks to his agent, hey, well, what about Lamar? You want to play with Lamar? Oh, yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, that shit's going to happen. But I'm in agreement with you on this one, Clyde.
Yeah, we still
I just don't think we need it. I don't think we need that that one golden boy to bring in all this other talent. I think we're talented enough.
Yeah, I just don't want it, is what I'm saying. Because that's not to answer Carvey's question. You want to talk about the Colts way. That's not gonna be.
Yes, he did, Teresa.
Oh my gosh.
But he's too nice to say it.
Bruh.
He's too proper and educated.
Oh my god. But no. So what I'm getting at is
Is
I
that
don't
a see you on
that's
Tuesday
not
here?
that's not a Colts thing. We won't be, the new run to island for all the players that want to win the Super Bowl. So we can't get caught into that.
Yeah, CB is really good about filtering that type of stuff out.
Yes. Yes. Now, again, I'm not, man, listen, I'm not against having, a brand new quarterback in here. But what I'm trying to tell everybody, if we go in there with this mindset right here, right, it can't be about previous injuries and all that. To me, that's the wrong idea. Because we know if we get a quarterback to our liking, that's what they're going to be asked to do. Jalen Hurts. Okay, so who's already knocking Jalen Hurts? Because Jalen Hurts busted his shoulder last year, came back, still played. But since he hurt that shoulder, do you think now he's susceptible to another shoulder injury? Maybe not. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that was the risk that they took. That's the way they play football. That's the way Shane Steichen is going to call games. So now we're almost saying we're going to have an issue with our coach because he's going to ask these dudes to run.
And nothing guarantees that our young quarterback that we're going to draft doesn't go out and tear an ACL in third week. Nothing guarantees injuries from happening.
Absolutely not. And if we get Anthony Richardson as a fan, what are y'all going to want to see? Y'all going to see some RPA or some RPO action. This time we faked it to JT. He kept it. He went on a 60-yard scamper, and that's going to be beautiful. That's what everybody in Baltimore loved about Lamar Jackson.
Honestly, what I want to see? I want to see consistent fucking plays.
There you go.
I want to see consistent plays. And we've been preaching about we have the talent. Yes, we do. But guess what? That talent has to be consistent. The play calling has to be consistent. The coaching has to be consistent. So guess what? Consistency is key, and Shane Steichen will bring that to this, to this core of coaches and this core of this roster. He will get these captains lined out to where we are all on the same page. I know he will. That's literally where we lack. Do we need a leader at the QB position, whether it's Lamar or Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud or whoever? Yes, we do. It's a key piece to any football team. It is. That's what helps us score points and win games. I get it. But you know what? If you're not consistent, you don't win football games. Period. Just saying.
Now we got to be a realist, though. I mean, he is a rookie coach. So you're saying a lot of what he's going to do, but do we know that?
Head coach.
Yes, that still counts.
Come on, but man. he's got 12 years coaching experience in this league.
Okay, Pat, don't do that.
I got to do it because
don't do that.
Because to me, there's a difference between being a rookie coach and a rookie head coach.
Nope. Okay, fine. You want to do that? All right, here we go. All right, so he
took the glasses off. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, listen. No, look.
Rubbing my eyes. It's been a long day now. I got to do it.
You work for a company as an employee, then you become a store manager, and then you're like, you know what? Hey, man, I'm selling this thing. You want to buy it? Sure, I'll buy it from you, Bill. Now you run the whole shit. Are you going to go to work day to day like you did when you were just a store manager, or are you going to it as now as an owner? It's way different. So as a head coach, I'm sure he might have been, in the meeting room for the, the defense. Hey, I want to do this today, guys. Give me this look, blah, blah, blah. But he was focused on his side of the ball and his guys. Now he's got to focus on everything, to include people who just work in the building.
I get it.
That's a big.
His role is changing. His role is changing.
Yeah. So let's be honest here. Okay. There's a lot of coordinators that didn't make it as head coaches, and they had plenty of experience. Think about that. Recent ones too.
We'll find out.
Recent guys.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right. So I want to bring this up real quick. And I know everybody's seen this, but we're just gonna put it to the big screen.
All right. Now wants more wide receiver screens.
No, we can't have no more of those. All right, so let's just look at let's just look at him as a passer, right? So I mean, career 63.7. Would we like to have Matt Ryan numbers? Career 67. Drew Brees 70. Come on, I mean, but that's elite arm talent. Talking about Drew Brees, even though he was small and undersized. But again, that was his system too, right? I mean, that's what they worked out. But what I'm also stating is, I mean, the guy, 101. I think he has 101 passing touchdowns and like 38 picks. Yeah, there we go. 101 passing touchdowns, 38 picks. His big year, right? 36 touchdowns is the most he's ever had. And I think the most passing yards he's ever had is what? 3,600?
Mm-hmm.
No, not even 3,127. That's his most. So there's tons and tons of room to improve for Lamar Jackson as a quarterback.
But look at the drop after that second year. Goes from 36 touchdowns to 26. Goes from 26 to 16.
But we're only looking
at just a hair.
Hold
Was
on.
17 the following year.
Hold on. Okay, now that was just him.
Yeah, there you go.
They're passing.
Highlight. Go back up. Go back up.
Where do you want to go? I was trying to get his rushing numbers.
That one right there. Now look at that year. 16 TDs to 13 INTs. That is horrible.
Oh yeah, that was a bad year. I mean, but you gotta look at the Ravens offense too. They were shit.
Yeah, and we do that as fans. We put everything on,
right, and that ain't fair.
This one player or that one player. And no, I totally get that. But when you're looking at stats, man, those really stick out.
All right, so then let's go look at it. Okay, so that MVP year, not only did he have 3,100 yards that year, he had 1,200 on the ground. I mean, the dude is getting overworked. It's crazy. How many carries did he have that year? 176 carries.
Jesus.
For a quarterback. That's psycho. 159 the following year and got another 1,000-yard season. Okay. What are these touchdowns? So seven on the ground, 7 on the ground, 7 on the ground. So that year he had 43 total touchdowns because he had 31 passing or 36 passing. So he had 43 total. So what I'm saying is, and even in these years right here, these are down passing years. He got hurt this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got hurt.
But look at that, man. He's still having 7. Like, he's still being asked to bring in that much rushing on a 133.
Look at the attempts though. 176, 159, 133, 112. That's fucking stupid.
That's crazy. It's psycho. So what I'm saying, I don't think he'll be asked to do anything remotely close to that here, which is going to be an adjustment for him.
With the way Steichen ran Jalen Hurts, you don't think he'd get that?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. We got to look up Jalen Hurts next. Because I don't think Jalen Hurts ran nowhere near. I mean, I could be wrong.
Nowhere near it. But They did design quite a few running plays.
Yeah,
for that guy.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say this too. You don't think that he read defenses and ran himself most of that time too?
That's probably more of it right there. Honestly, a lot of them plays he created.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because it's RPO, right? So
yeah,
you get to make that call. I'm just giving you the look. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be an adjustment. So to your point, that is an adjustment for him to make. Pat. Absolutely. He will have to adjust because I know it's in him, in his nature, just to take the hell off. Like, I'm out of here. Now again, so this is good. All right, let me bring this up for everybody because now less time with Jalen, of course.
Yep.
This is only year 3. So yeah, he's going into year 4. But what I'm getting at is his completion percentage is just shallow of what Lamar's is, 62.3. Lamar's highest year, I think we've seen a 67 in there. So last year, that was Jalen's highest at 66.5. 3,700 yards. So he's had a better passing season. But look at his TDs. 22, 6, 16, 22. And we know how dominant the Eagles were on offense last year. And he only had 22 touchdowns. Now he missed 2 games. But now let's look at his rushing numbers.
Now his INT ratio to his touchdowns is pretty good too. 4, 9, and 6.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. I mean, Lamar has 38 over 5 years.
Now, see, here's another layer that Adam brought up that we're not talking about. Does our new coach want to build what he wants to build here with Lamar? And that's a question we won't ever know.
Well, yeah. I mean, all right, look. Here you go. 165. 165, and he had 760 yards, 13 touchdowns. And the year before, 784, 10 touchdowns, 139 touches. So there we go. Like, maybe Jalen Hurts just hasn't been hurt enough. But if he kept that up, who's to say he wouldn't be, right? Because he's playing all the games.
Yeah.
Look at that. 15. Well, this year he missed
15. Yeah,
he missed 2 this year because now we got 18 weeks, so there's 17 games. But he missed 2. But yeah, man, that's something to keep in mind. With this, Lamar and Jalen Hurts is a 1-for-1 right now. Like, I think that he basically gets the same player. What do you think? Looking at the stats,
consistent stats, yes.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting the same player, passing and running, that he's already worked with and had major success with. Took him to a Super Bowl as a third-year quarterback. And yes, they have AJ. They have AJ Brown. Yes, they got Devontae Smith. We don't have them two, but Miles Sanders is no Jonathan Taylor. So let's give us props where we need be. They have Dallas Goedert. Okay, I think the way that Lamar likes to use his tight ends, freaking what's our big one? Jelani he could have an amazing improvement. I mean, that's just because that's primarily his go-to. Then Michael Pittman, same way. Lots of drag routes, in routes. Yes. Then you got a deep ball guy, Alec Pierce. Remember what he did with Hollywood Brown?
Ooh.
I mean, Hollywood Brown's much faster but smaller. Now you can throw that same type of pass.
That is one point a lot of people don't talk about. Lamar's got a big arm.
The cannon.
He can send that damn ball down the field.
Facts. He just didn't have nobody to throw it to.
Like I said, I'm not for or against. But when the question is, do I believe we'll pick him up? I don't know. I just think there's too many other things stacked against him for Chris Ballard to go after him. Now, could I be wrong? Sure. And if I'm wrong, am I still going to be happy? Sure. So it's one of those situations for me.
Sure.
I don't care. Get him, don't get him, get the young guy, get the,
I got you.
Just get me somebody that we can build this thing around. That's what I want. Somebody. I don't care who it is.
I got you. I think what Chris Ballard has to weigh, and I've been saying this for a long time, he has to weigh the value of keeping this locker room together. Because these guys tasted a little success. Yep. They tasted a little success 2-3 years ago, right? And since then, nothing. And so, there's no point of drafting guys and calling them your guys and re-signing them, and then you're still in rebuild mode, or you're still like a middle of the pack team, or even below that. So these guys, I'm telling you right now, sure, you can't let your players make all the decisions for you, but if they had a team meeting and they were just being open and honest, like, hey guys, do we go out here and get Lamar? Do we draft any one of these 4? I'm almost guaranteeing 45 players or more are gonna say, go get Lamar Jackson. Stop playing with me. I mean, you might have the 1 or 2 to be like, oh yeah, I think I really like, cool. But 45 of the fucking players of the 53, I'm like, hey man, are you kidding right now? Like, hell yeah, go sign Lamar Jackson. Because with him, we instantly, what is flying around me? We instantly become something's like flying around me. What the hell's going on? We instantly become, a team to, I'll say, be feared. Shit, with what we have currently. Who even knows what we're gonna draft? And if we give up, this year's first and next year's first, okay, sure, that hurts. But we've seen that happen under the Ballard era, giving up or trading for DeForest Buckner, We lost our first round that year, even though it was only going to be like 13, I think it was. But still, we've done that before. So, and if you have a Lamar Jackson, like this is what I always say, and I mean this. I really want to be honest. First round draft picks do matter, but it really matters when your team is shit. Like, because if you're a perennial solid team, the New England Patriots for the last 20 years before Brady left them, they were always at the bottom of the basement, 25 or greater. Can you think of one, like, no kidding, oh man, they drafted this guy in the first round and it made a huge difference for them? I can't. They might have had a good solid pickup at 26, 30, whatever. But I'm saying, like, the Patriots were not building their team around our first round draft pick. Anybody who's always focused on that team stinks. Think about it. Your team stinks. The Detroit Lions had first round between 1 and 10 for like a solid decade. And they suck. They
Same
still
with
suck.
Jacksonville
Jacksonville
just
too.
now figuring it out. The
The
Browns.
Yes. Like, you could name all these teams that have had solid first round draft picks for like
Commanders.
a decade. And what is it? They ain't winning no championships. They not even winning playoff games. They not even going to the playoffs on a consistent basis. So we can't look at it like that. I want to be a dude or a team that's drafting always at 25 or greater. That means I'm going deep in the playoffs every year. Just my thoughts. So do I want to be number 4 next year? No. Everybody's like, oh, next year we got to go draft Marvin Harrison Jr. How, if we're good? How? Unless we give up a lot to come up. But how do we get? So we shouldn't be go get Caleb Williams next year. How, if we're a good team? We can't. So when do we want to be a good team? That's the question.
We should not be thinking about next year's draft already. This year's draft hasn't even happened yet.
And we shouldn't be thinking about lottery, like, really, ever. Because if you're thinking about lottery, God bless. You suck.
It sucks. Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs, after signing, Pat Mahomes for a decade, if they ever thought about lottery during that decade when they paying this man a half $500,000 or $500 million, they've done something wrong. He should secure them the fact that they don't have to think about that. Yeah, like, they should be like, we don't even care about a lottery pick. That's crazy once we sign this guy for what we signed him for. So we got to get back to that mindset. Us as Colts fans, we were spoiled under Peyton Manning. When the fuck were we thinking about the lottery from, I say, 99 forward? Never.
I'm right.
Exactly. The lottery? Like, what? Something went terribly wrong. And when it did go terribly wrong, we got lottery pick. And what happened? We drafted the next, so we thought, Peyton Manning era type quarterback. Because we sucked finally in 2011. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, shit, look who's here after 14 years. Let's go get Andrew Luck, the second best quarterback to come out since Peyton Manning. Awesome. It worked out perfectly. So every 10 to 14 years, talk about the lottery. Talking about it every year, I'm not going to be a good fan. It's going to be a hard sell. What's up, Chandler? Oh, yeah, you just missed a long
conversation on this one.
Segment.
Go back and replay. But all right, let's get into this last topic just for a second, because there's some other stuff to talk about. Still talking quarterbacks. So here we go. Glad you said that, Sean, because here we go. Pro days and top 30 visits. So it's already been announced that a top 30 visit will be made from the Colts to Will Levis as well as Anthony Richardson. No duh. Figured that was going to happen. But of that, CJ Stroud has had a pro day and Will Levis had a pro day. And I think Will Levis actually looked better at his pro day than he did at the draft, or I'm sorry, at the combine. Showed that he had a cannon. People already know this. Showed that he can move. People already know this. But again, there's intangibles there. And I think the CJ Stroud love that was given to him by Frank Wright, we only sent one guy there. What does that tell you? Like, I'm going to ask you that question, not to stump the chump, but we only sent one guy to his pro day. What does that tell you?
Means we're interested.
No, you're missing that.
Not as interested as you think.
I think that means
they've already got all their knowledge they want on this kid.
Maybe. I'm taking the other approach. I think it means that he's pretty much gone for us. Like, I think that they're sold on the fact that CJ Stroud will end up with the Panthers. I mean, look how he was courted by
I'm
Frank
guaranteeing that.
and all that. And so what I'm saying is I guess the thought that was there prior to the Bears trade was CJ's he could be around. You know, we're gonna go on a limb and say, you know, the Texans want Bryce because he's probably rated the best quarterback, but we're gonna steal the draft by taking CJ Stroud. Then the Carolina Panthers do what they do, and then Frank Wright is all like heads over heels over him at the pro day. So that tells me the Colts have already conceded that we're not going to get him. So don't put the effort there. But there were Colts guys that Levis's thing.
Now let me ask you this: before Frank got fired, do you think him and Chris were talking about the upcoming quarterbacks for this draft and who they liked and why they liked him?
I mean, it'd be crazy to think that they wasn't. Yeah, absolutely.
So Frank gets fired, gets to a new team, and already knows some of Ballard's strategy and who he likes.
I bet you this too. And this is, I mean, I'm not going to be funny here, but this is rare, right? And somebody can probably like check the knowledge on this. But I can't think of a lot of head coaches that get fired and get hired like that. Like usually it's like a gap.
I think so,
a year or two. Like I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody out there knows like, oh yeah, this happened and that happened. But I don't think that we were betting on him getting a job that quick. Not saying that we didn't think that he deserved a job. I'm sure they wanted the best for him. But I mean, what? Like, dude, like you didn't really prove nothing in Indianapolis at all, right? Like not to be like to get picked up that quick. But maybe it's just his personality. Maybe it's his philosophy, the whole thing. So now I think that he came into this like, oh, I'll hold the cards because I'm leaving the organization understanding, you know, what it looks like. And oh, by the way, Carolina, we have an opportunity to do some things. We just made a lot of trades last year. We got some cap. We can do this. We can move around. Here we go. Let's make the trades we need to make. So I think that's a little bit of both because ain't no way there's no way I think that the Colts thought that he would get hired that quickly. I mean, that was weeks. He got hired before we had a new coach. What? We fired Buddy. Like, I mean, where was that? Week what? 6? 7-ish? We fired him in there because Jeff had 8 games, right? Jeff had 8 games.
Yeah, I think so.
Not 8 or 9.
Week 8 or 9. So he's been out for a minute, but I mean, nobody could engage and talk to him until after the season. But even still, like, who gets fired as a head coach and then gets another head coaching job right after it? That's crazy. Without going back to being an OC first or something like that.
Now, do you guys subscribe to The Athletic?
No, I don't pay for nothing.
Sorry,
Zach.
It's only $1.
That's fine.
Jesus, you stingy fuck.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's fine.
They came out with their mock draft today. And in their mock draft, they had CJ going to Carolina, and they had Houston taking Anthony Richardson, which made Bryce Young fall to us. Now, in this scenario, if it happens, are you upset? Or are you happy?
Pissed.
Absolutely pissed.
Pissed, bro. Pissed. I'm
Why?
sorry, bro, because
Bryce Young says everything is. He's not what people think he is, bro.
I won't even say that. I just don't want a little bitty guy. I just don't. I don't want that. I don't want a Kyler Murray Tua guy. And I'm not going to leave it all on injury. No, I'm not about to do that.
He's going to play video games all damn day.
I have seen.
It's fine with me.
We've always had larger quarterbacks. I mean,
shut up, you nerd.
Look at Sam Ehlinger. Yes, Bryce Young is 10 times better than Sam Ehlinger. But when little Sam is on the field, bro, come on, man. Like,
makes you nervous, don't it?
Yeah, I don't want that smoke. And if he does get hit,
his little ass don't want that smoke either. That's why he runs to death.
I tell you right now, if we get Bryce Young, I'm not going to be upset. Kid's talented.
There you go.
He's extremely smart. He knows how to read a defense. You just make sure you jump in that O-line's ass. Make sure nobody touches him.
I knew that was coming. Pat, come on.
Pat, you
just because I like somebody doesn't
fan, bro.
Absolutely.
You gotta have a little bit of like ground. Like, bro, 1 week is Hendon Hooker and his old ass and knee injury. And
I ain't gonna be
and
upset with
this
him
week-
either. I told you I just want somebody. Damn it. I'll take Hooker. I'll take Young. I'll take AR. I'll take CJ. I'll take Lamar.
I will take any top 5 draft pick in the QB class this year, or I'll take Lamar. Is what you're saying?
No,
you're the guy
not
without
any.
a prom date, and you
I'm
just
still
asking
not
everybody.
sold on Levis. I'm still not sold on him. He's too inconsistent.
But I'll
an
take
heir.
Levis though. I would take Levis. Boy, I'm about to get roasted.
Oh,
I would take Will Levis
Don't you say it?
over Bryce Young. Not, but it's about where I'm picking.
Fucking damn it.
So if I'm number 1 and number 2, absolutely not. And unfortunately, you're okay. I'll put it to you like this, and I mean this, right? The Bears 2 years ago got Justin Fields. Okay, you don't think, or fuck it, take the Jets. The Jets 2 years ago got Zach Wilson, and we already talked about that. Undersized, showed some stuff at his pro day. Okay, cool. We can feel confident in our pick. But you don't think every year after those teams that just took a quarterback, you don't think they assess what's out there now? Like, damn, this dude is better than my guy. Damn, this dude is better than my guy. But this is the guy I got to stick with because I drafted him. So I'm saying that to say,
no, not
if you're at 1 or
Look
2,
what Arizona did a few years ago. They had the number 1 pick, and they picked who'd they draft? I forget who they drafted, but then they end up sucking. They got the number 1 pick again, and they grabbed Kyler Murray.
yeah, because they took Drew Rosen, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But that's what I'm saying.
They traded him to like Miami or something, and then he falls off the NFL.
Yeah, but that's what happens. It's the pressure of the draft that year. And so I will commend Chris Ballard for all these years not being in a position really to take a quarterback, saying that if I would have just took anybody, y'all would have been on my fucking head. And I agree with that. But I'm saying in a draft like this, it's all about position. So if you're at 1 or 2, I think you have to go with the odds unless you just really want to shake it up. Colts have done that before. You remember we took Edgerrin James when everybody's like, oh, get Ricky Williams. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Oh, my God. Edgerrin James is only a Hall of Famer. So,
yeah.
Oops. But no, what I'm getting at is if you have the number 4 pick still, and to me, Bryce Young and Will Levis are still there, bro, it's going to sound nuts. I would take Will Levis. But if I'm number 1, number 2 position, I don't think you can. Because it's too big of a reach. That's what I was trying to tell Carvey weeks ago. It's like before the Anthony Richardson Combine Day, sure, the talent was there, the tape was there, but I was like, there's no way this guy is a second-round pick, and second round or beyond at that point for most guys, and you come and take this guy just blindly at number 4. That would be a disaster. But now he's shown that he's a little bit better, but he's still not even most draft board. I mean, most quarterback rankings still have him at 5 if you're looking at it, because your guy is 4 or your guys usually your guys usually 4. So what I've seen is CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, sometimes Hendon Hooker, then Anthony Richardson. Most of the notables have Anthony Richardson as the 5th quarterback this year just because the lack of accuracy and other things. Really, like you said, it only started a handful of games. You know what I mean? So then that's a part of that equation too. So I don't know, man. Bryce Young just fuck. I have never wanted him as a quarterback.
I'd
take Hendon Hooker's fucking old fucking broke down ass over them 2.
Why you gotta don't do that to him, man? Look, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying the COVID year has made a lot of kids turn into grown-ups. Like, I was watching college basketball. Timmy from fucking Gonzaga, that dude has been I feel like he's been in college since I joined the military. I'm like, bro, when the hell are you going to graduate?
They're saying the same thing about Stetson Bennett, too.
Yeah, exactly. Stetson Bennett been in college for 13 seasons, too.
We're talking about our boy Daniel's boy now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, these dudes, so it's not that, I don't think they would be solid players, but people are like, well, okay, Hendon Hooker is the same age as Lamar Jackson, or roughly. Yeah, but Lamar Jackson's been in the NFL now going on 6 years. He's played at top level. He's been to the playoffs. He's been an NFL MVP. Like, that's not a comparison to even make. I mean, it's no different than going to get a job, right? Like, you could have all the knowledge in the world. If you don't have any experience, they probably going to go with the experience and less knowledge. It's just how it goes, man. Unfortunately. So, yes, very weird offense where they spread. They literally, I mean, dudes are lining up at the hash or beyond. You will never see that in NFL. So you got splits on the field of like 15, 20 yards on both sides. That's unreal. Damn. Yes. Yes, other people will be mad.
Nobody but you and Acosta is going to be
Oh
mad.
my God. Like, come on.
Nobody but you two.
Man.
I'm
Look,
just saying I could fart and he could get hurt.
Wow.
that was uncalled for.
No, it wasn't. I'm just saying.
Nobody wants to picture that, Acosta.
Oh shit.
Coming
Bro,
from
y'all
you,
are terrible.
Pat.
Hey, and your farts are deadly.
No, they're not.
Y'all are terrible, bro. So I mean, that's kind of where I am with it, right? Like, again, I'm not totally against it. Like I said, I don't think there's a lot that really separated these quarterbacks. There just isn't. So I felt before the Lamar news started really catching wind, I think Chris Ballard could have probably walked in there for him and like, all right, it's Levis. All right, it's Richardson. Oh shit, it's actually Stroud. Who would have thunk and been happy? But if you don't consider the Lamar Jackson thing, then I think he's being reckless.
In all seriousness, though, whoever we get, regardless if it's a top 5 QB pick, regardless if it's Will Levis, regardless if it's Lamar, I'm going to cheer on whoever we get.
Okay, well, yeah, that's the safe. Duh. Come on, man. Matter of fact, you don't offer that. Don't be.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm being.
We know that.
I'm just saying. Okay,
We got Gardner fucking Minshew, and 3 years ago we hated his guts because he was a Jaguar. Now, yeah, we gonna be rooting for him. So yes, doesn't matter who comes to do it. I can't believe I'm gonna root for Gardner. I don't even like fucking cut off shorts and boots and mullets and shit. Like what the? Oh God, he talking about a dude that's not a Colts player. What the fuck is that? A quarterback with his hair out the fucking back of his helmet and it's a mullet? Get the hell out of here. We ain't seen that since Jeff Georgia. He stunk. Oma fucking hog.
Jeff Georgia's 92 years now, older, and you just Omaha'd him.
I don't give a shit because he was an overall number 1 draft pick. He was from Indy. He was amazing at Illinois, and we drafted his ass, and we fucking stunk. And he was a terrible, terrible quarterback.
He was.
Fuck Jeff George. He went to my high school, and that's all they talk about. Oh, Jeff George, Warren Central High School. He stinks. Anyway.
Well, we went a little over. We ready to end this
We
thing.
did, yeah, man.
Thoughts?
Absolutely. I can't. Y'all piss me off. I can't deal with y'all, assholes.
What?
Yeah. Omaha, y'all. Omaha! Got me all hot. And
I love you
sweating
too,
shit.
Clyde.
All right.
Hey, Acosta, he just said we got him all hot and sweaty.
Don't be a weirdo. See, Pat, that's the shit I'm talking about.
You said it.
Don't be a
You
weirdo.
said it. All I did was repeat it.
I'm talking about you getting me like worked up because you frustrated me
You're
with
flustered.
your Bryce Young talk.
Oh, you getting flustered?
No, I'm not getting flustered. Do
Why
your
would
thing,
you
man.
look? Why would you look at him
What's
like
up?
that? You fucking pervert!
Especially what happened in the group between you and Thomas, weirdos.
Oh my God.
Like-
Let's get it over.
Hey, bang that damn bitch, man! Come on, son. of a bitch.
What? What? You're going to be banned, ma'am. What are you doing?
Anyway,
How many fireballs has she had tonight? Jesus.
I don't know,
Okay,
but
anyway.
keep them going, Teresa.
Go ahead, man.
All right, you fucking bald, pudgy bastard. What is your fucking final thoughts?
You had to bring me a. What can you go with Clyde on this? I'm still laughing.
Oh,
So is he, and so am I. Talk. You always want to talk any other time.
All right. There's a lot going on in this world. A lot of people hurting, a lot of things happening that a lot of people don't know about. And you just seen Carvey asking for prayers. If you come across social media, you come across this chat and somebody's asking for prayers, stop what you're doing, pray for them. You don't know how serious the situation is, and prayer works. That's it. Show your fellow man and woman some love. Send some prayers out for them when they need them.
Very true.
There it is. There you have it, Mr. Clyde. What you
All
got?
right, man. I'm gonna go off of my normal, and I'm gonna just say this: I am fed up with all of these damn school shootings, and we had another yesterday in Nashville, and I don't know what compels people to get to that point where they have no care in the world for a child's life, and they can turn a gun on a child. And so, you know what? Like, I don't know. I'll never, feel like I'm above someone and wish some kind of negative things on them, but this shit's got to stop, right? I'm not going to get on a political net or political note or nothing, but look, something has a change with this type of shit. And as a parent that still has a very small child, I don't know, flags were half staffed today for that school. And, like, I don't ever want my son that's 8 years old in second grade, to think that could be the outcome of one of his school days. So that's something as a country we got to figure something out, right? Put our differences aside and fix that shit, because I can't read it about another school being shot up. I just can't. So that's my final thoughts. Prayers to Nashville.
Absolutely. My final thoughts are going to be short and sweet tonight. Boys, love y'all. To all our followers, fans, friends, we love you. We're going to get out of here. If anyone don't have anything else.
We still ain't named the fan base yet. We got to keep on coming in, because everything y'all got is still kind of...
We're getting a lot of options, and so we'll get around to it eventually. Yes. So, guys, message us if you think of any fan base names y'all want to call yourselves. We have a few written down already. Just message us ideas if you happen to think of one while you're just sitting at work or sitting at home or just out doing something or see something. Just let us know. We'll happily reply to you and see what we have come up with, and we'll let y'all know what we choose.
All right. And we're just going to spice this up. The winner of the naming contest,
here we go,
wins a free Anvil t-shirt.
Okay. I thought you were going to give away. Never mind. Let me shut the hell up.
You thought I was going to give away more of my own stuff?
I don't know what I thought, but sometimes you get a little...
I know what you was thinking.
I don't know.
Bringing that whoop out, cracking it on me again.
I thought he was going to fucking give away some more of my land, but
Oh, shit. There it is. All right. Get the fuck out of here.
Time
to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, time to took it. Shut up. Time to get the hell out of here. Hey, everybody, do not drink and drive. Hey, do not drink and drive. Y'all stay blessed, stay pretty, be kind, be nice, love one another. But remember, go Colts.
Go Colts.
Yeah, Adam definitely loves the fries and the candy.